So it is the weekend before the release of visionOS 26, and I've got an update for Project Graveyard I'm going to release, and I wanted to do a quick comparison of version 2 and version 3. So this is version 2 that's available on the App Store today, and this is what I released for visionOS 2.0 last year. This version, I can tap on Entity, any one of the gravestones. When it's the selected gravestone, I can do some basic gestures on it. I can move things around, drag them, scale them, rotate them, and I'm going to do whatever I want, place them wherever I want. The rest of the functionality is actually in an independent editing window. So it's kind of like an inspector window that exists outside of the volume. You can open it anytime, and you can see a large preview for the item that we have tapped on, and we can go edit this. So we can change the text for the epitaph, so the name. We can also customize this. So we can change the material, and we have a little preview of the gravestone here, or you can see it update here. We can change this, switch this to maybe one of these, and a light. There we go. And that's kind of it for customizing. We also have a few app settings. We can change the lighting, the rain, whether or not we want to show the text on the gravestones or not. And we can even have a hard-coded preference for where do we want the utility window. So this has all been completely redone in version 3. I got rid of the utility window and put everything back in the volume. So I'm going to close this. Okay, so here is the new version, just installed from TestFlight, and you can see there's a lot more going on. So let's take a quick look at the gestures first. So we no longer have a selection indicator. What we have instead are 3 little modes here. So the default mode is just being able to pick things up and look at them. This is using the new manipulation component in RealityKit. And when we release, things go back to where we are. So we can't make any accidental edits in this mode, but we can pick up pretty much anything we want. Yeah, we can even pick up the lights and shine them on other stuff, which is a ton of fun. If we want to rearrange the graveyard, we can flip into this middle mode. This would be the arrange mode. And then we can drag things around within the size of the volume. Everything stays on the ground. We can do two-handed things to scale and rotate these, or just one hand to put it back where we want. We can also go into edit mode, and we can tap on this, and you remember from the previous version we had that extra window here. Now all of these options are directly in the volume in a little popover above whatever you're editing. So we can switch our material back to what I had earlier for this stone, and we can edit our text. We could delete the item from here if we want to get rid of it. And we can do the same thing for all of these. Not everything has customization yet. So like the lamppost, right now all we can do is delete it, but it's got the same card. And in some future updates, I'm going to add some customizations kind of per object. So for example, I could I'll let you change the color of the light, the brightness, the size of the radius for the light, things like that. Add more materials to the plinth and the obelisk. Maybe some different wood materials or metal materials for these things. So yeah, that's kind of it. Actually, that's not it. The other features that are still there, we have the same 3 options that we saw in settings in the previous app. We can change our lighting, we can turn on rain, we can turn off the graveyard text. And the other big difference is when you add a gravestone, you now see this little menu by default. So I've only got 6 items here for now, but I'm going to be adding more along with customizations to each of the items. So this will hopefully turn into, I don't know, a couple dozen different things that you can use to customize your graveyard. It's also really kind of fun to make it very tiny, and just now with window locking, we can snap that to a surface and it will always be there whenever I put my headset on or come into this room. And we can also make this pretty big. So if we You can kind of scale up to about 2 meters and kind of walk around inside it a little bit, and you can see kind of how detailed everything is. And yeah, still a lot of work to do. I want to add better grass, maybe some flowers, a lot more customization. Yeah, there's a lot to do, but I'm pretty happy with the progress this summer. Pro tip, this one looks particularly good in this environment here. I definitely encourage you to try it out here, check it out with new lighting. It's just really well suited for this environment. So let me know what you think.